Welcome to my backyard for this week's Kids Time. This week I want to tell you a story. And Jesus in the Bible used to tell stories to people to teach them about God's heart for their lives. And those stories were called parables. And I want to tell you a parable today. The parable I'm going to tell you this morning is called the parable of the good sower. And it goes just like this. Once upon a time there was a farmer. And he had all these seeds to plant to make a big crop. Some of the seeds fell onto a path, just like this one, leading into my backyard. What happened to those seeds was they couldn't take root. The path was too hard, and the birds scooped down and ate up all the seeds. And no plants grew. Later, the farmer scattered some seeds into some soil that was covered in rocks, just like this here in my garden. And what happened to those seeds was there wasn't much soil around the rocks, and so there wasn't room for the seeds to root and go deep down into the soil. And soon the afternoon sun came out and it got so hot, and those seeds that were starting to grow withered up and died. Later, the farmer spread his seeds onto a weedy area of soil, just like this part of my backyard. It's covered in creeping Charlie. And what happened to those seeds was the weeds grew up much stronger and healthier than the seeds did, and they choked those seeds. And nothing grew in this soil either. Finally, the farmer scattered some seeds into some soil, just like back here in my vegetable garden. We took a lot of care in creating this soil. We pulled out all the weeds and rocks, and we mixed it with fertilizer and peat moss, and this is perfect soil for growing things. And when the farmer scattered his seeds into soil, just like this soil, they grew, and he got a perfect crop. And now, what do you think Jesus wanted the disciples and all of us who read his parables to learn from his made-up story? Well, I'll tell you. Those seeds that the farmer was sowing into all different kind of soil is very much like God's word coming into our hearts. Sometimes our hearts are too hard and God's word won't take root. Other times we're too focused on other things in our lives, like being popular and being good at everything and having lots of toys. And then God's word gets choked out of our hearts. But other times, when our hearts are just right, when we're trying to be kind to other people, when we're reading God's word in the Bible, when we're talking to God in prayer, then our heart is just the perfect soil, just like the good sower. And then God's word takes root in our heart and grows and grows. And that's what the parable of the good sower means. Will you pray with me? Dear God, thank you for loving us, and thank you for your word. Please help us to be like the good sower, and that our hearts will be just right to grow your word. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Bye, boys and girls. We'll see you next time.